Nau mai, hara mai, kia tau mai ki tēnei pāhotanga mataora ko Auaha Live. Te tuatahi, ngā mihi kia koutou mō te tau hau. Ngā mihi mahana kia koutou katoa. Ko Sandra Julian a hau, ko Ngāti Mutunga, Ngāti Tama, Pautama, Metiatiawa o ku iwi, no Taranaki. Kia ora, Happy New Year and welcome along to a new season of Auaha Live. I appreciate that you're here. This year, I'm continuing to interview the many talented people that dedicate themselves to the business events industry here in Aotearoa. I'm your host, Sandra Julian, founder of Auaha, a business events agency and BEIA-approved professional conference organiser. Thanks for being here live with us today. Please don't be shy, say hello in the comments, and if you have any questions or something to say throughout our conversation today, then drop them in the comments. We would love to hear from you. My guest today has been in the corporate event industry for more than 25 years and probably needs very little introduction. But let me introduce you to JR, who is the director of the production and music agency. Kia ora, JR, welcome.
Kia ora, Sandra. Kia ora, everyone. Welcome to 2021. Happy New Year. It's great to be here. Great
nice to have you here. First conversation for the new year. So I know that most of us in the industry know who you are, but for those that may be less aware, can you tell us a little about yourself and your business?
Sure. Okay, so I'm the director of the production and music agency. So we're a production company, so we're audio-visual solutions. Also, we're an entertainment agency. So basically, my business model when I started was to have the two together, because those are two key components in any event. So I started my business 9 years ago and still here and loving it and living the dream, to be honest.
Nice. All right, we've got a bit of sound back. What's going on at your end, JR, with your...
Oh, it sounds beautiful here.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. I could hear myself at your end.
Okay, hold on. How's that?
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Cool.
Okay. It was just like a bit of feedback, but let us carry on. All right, so I know that you've recently taken on some new work in Rotorua and moved that way. What is that looking like for you in life at the moment?
It's looking really good. I'm actually in Taupo at the moment. I'm here at Wairaki Resort. I'm talking out of my room. I've been staying here for just over 2 months. So I've been spoiled, but, I've just come down to check it out. I take it pretty seriously down here. I've been doing quite a bit of work in Rotorua and doing little bits and pieces in Taupo. And I just thought I'd take the opportunity, during COVID, with someone closing their doors, I thought I'm going to step in and have a crack at it because I love it. I'm passionate about the place, I come here every year with my kids. I do the Rotorua Business Awards. I've done so many events, so I thought, why not a change? And so I made the call. A lot of people don't know I'm here, but I'm here. I'm checking it out, so you never know. But I've still got another month here, and it's just been great. I've collaborated with a company called NZ Sound, who are leaders in what they do as well. So it's working out great. We've worked together for 2 years, and hence why I'm considering making the move. It's a big call. I've got a lot of great clients. I'm national. My company's national, so I've got clients all over New Zealand. I've spent 50 years of my life in Auckland. So this is the first time I've spent time out of Auckland my whole life. So I'm taking it pretty serious, and I'm really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
That's a big move.
It's a huge move, but it's been fun too. And I think I took it over the best time, over Christmas, New Year. It's given us time for me and my business partner to go through stuff and actually work on planning for the years, the year coming ahead. So it just breaks us into, we don't just do corporate. I mean, that is the biggest part of my business, But over the years, I do things like the Royal Easter Show, so big production outside and stuff like that. We've done the odd festival, Sound Splash this weekend production. Next weekend, we got the summer festival out at Matakana. So the growth has been quite large for us, but the corporate market's where I focus on mainly within the business. So.
Okay. And moving into Rotorua, is the business there more business events or more corporate events? What's that looking like for you?
I think it's a bit of a mix. What we're doing at the moment, there's a lot of conferencing. That's what I've picked up. We've been speaking ourselves, Sandra. But there's a bit of a mix, and I know they want to bring stuff back to Rotorua as well. You can remember back in the days, they used to have some big festivals there. It used to be the go-to place, and I think with what we do, obviously collaborating with artists as well, being the one-stop shop, we can make things happen, But my focus at the moment is the conference scene, your gala dinner, your events, the main, and that's why I'm there, offering what we've got. We've been working out of there probably 3 years, probably more than that actually, and for us to take our trucks down, every time, and it's worked. So people are booking us outside of Auckland, which is great. So it just shows that we're doing something right. So that's why I thought, and I've got to make great relationships there, Taupo, Rotorua. So I thought, this is why I'm going to do it. It is a lot of travel for me. I'm backwards and forwards. I only got back yesterday because I'm working on the America's Cup. So I had meetings with them as well and caught up with a few of my clients in Auckland. So, but it's working out fine. I don't mind. It's good fun.
So what does your team look like? How big's your team?
We've got all in up in our production. So on the entertainment side, there's 2 of us. Then we've got 3 in our production side. And then with the team from Taupo, you're looking at another 5. So it's not a huge team, but you got to remember we contract. We're like everyone else in the AV game. You've got a contract, and it's been quite interesting since COVID because a lot of these guys have gone to film and television. So, just the security. And it's even like some of our artists are still working full time because it's the unknown. So, but we're lucky. We've got a great bunch of guys that are pretty committed to us, and it's all about looking after your staff, isn't it? And the guys that work
I mean, I'm kind of done having the COVID conversation, to be honest, but it is still a conversation that that is ever present, and we're still navigating how we're recovering. And I think we're in recovery mode now. But what did your business look like as we hit into COVID, shut down? What does it look like then, and what does it look like now?
And look, this probably sounds bad, but I'm going to be honest with you. I was quite naive to it all. I had a partner waking up every day going to me, I think they're going to close, I think they're going to close, shut down, lock down. I went, it's not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. You see it on the movies. You know what I mean? It's just something you see on the movies. It ain't going to happen. So, but I still went into it feeling okay, thinking I had loss of income insurance and all the things like everyone else did. Now, when it happened, it was a shock. It was like, wow. And it wasn't necessarily just for me and my business. It's the people. You got to remember, I've got a community of people that rely on us for income. It's all those guys that are professional musicians, the guys that contract to us, the same thing. It's a ripple effect. So it was like, it was massive. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it anymore because good things have come out of it too. We learn from these things. So for me, it was tough, but it was tough for a lot of people, and it was tough. I spoke to people on the phone that were in tears and stuff. It was such an emotional ride, and and even when we get out of COVID, we absolutely got slammed, and I'm sure everyone out there was saying the same things. We were so busy, but it was still that emotional ride. I'd be sitting there in bed at night and I'm thinking, wow, this is amazing. Look how much work we've got. Then I'm going, oh my God, there's that little creature COVID going, blah, 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 running across the screen going, drops in, and you go from highs to lows. That's what it was constantly like. Every day you watch the news, I didn't want to watch it because I was scared I was going to hear something, It was even like the Tourism New Zealand gig. We did that at the zoo. A guy had been setting up all day. Everything was set to go, and wham, it just caught half an hour before the gig. It's like, it's just the unknown, But you just got to keep driving. If we don't drive, we're not going to get anywhere. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah,
I'm feeling quite confident in the moment. Like we've had a few outbreaks and,
yeah,
cases, and the cases continue to go up and down and up and down,
yeah.
but it's being managed without us having to move alert levels continuously. So I'm
Oh,
feeling rather confident.
it's. I think we're an amazing country. I
Oh,
really
yeah,
do.
for sure.
I
Yeah.
think, I did the New Year's Eve America's Cup party. I stood up there and I had goosebumps. The reason I had goosebumps, not because Jordan Luck was going off and he was amazing. It was just everyone was there. There was thousands of people. And we've got friends, my partners from Czech Republic, they don't have any of that. All you do when you FaceTime them is just see sorrow, It's not, we're in such a good space. And I'm like you, I'm very confident at the moment, We're driving, we're still spending money at advertising. You have to. It's just the way it is. And I'm confident like you, and I think, Jacinda's got it under the wraps. It's better to be safe than sorry, We've done it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, totally. It is so freeing to be able to live our life
Yeah.
without any restrictions and to carry on with our business and continue to be in recovery mode. Yes,
Absolutely.
our international borders are still shut and the country is still going to suffer from the lack of international
Yeah.
visitors, but the ability to still live life pretty freely and get domestic business back up and running, I think we are pretty lucky compared to the rest of the world. Even across the ditch, they're still going into
Absolutely.
lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. And you've got to remember, I'm sure you've got clients overseas who you speak to too. And, they're all just saying, you guys have just done so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a collective. Everyone's just put in, you even look, I've got young children, washing hands, if they always wash their hands at dinner. Every time they come in from riding their bikes, they're washing their hands. Everyone's become conscious about these little things, And it's amazing.
And it's a good thing. Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah.
So what have you done since, let's 2020 over there? I know some positive things have come out of that for you, for your business. Do you want to share?
I think just me coming here, during COVID, it was one of those things I got to think a lot, about if I was better prepared, I've come out of it okay. It's still not 100%, it takes a lot to rebuild, and people are you got to remember December was one of my biggest months because gala dinners and that. It was like the worst month I've ever had. But up to it was awesome. But I understand that because people are pulling their gala dinners out because they can't be seen spending money because people are being laid off. I get it, and it's totally respect that, But it's like now everyone's rushing to get everything in, which is crazy, It's like, it's great. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy as, but it's like, it's so interesting. So for me, it's driven me more, and hence why I decided to come down here. It's not that I'm just bringing my wings. I've got a relationship with a guy that's based here as well. We work really closely together. I love Rotorua. I love Taupo. I want to bring it. So that's my goal, is to work and focus on there. Auckland, we're doing well. My ops team, I've got Grant Sibilich, who's the champion of all champions, who's loving it. He's got more responsibility. I travel every week to do it. So for me, my thing is I'm just getting out there. I'm doing what I do best and what I love, to be honest. The thing with COVID, being in COVID, that, to be honest, the hardest thing for me was not being with people. It was awful. When you're people, Zoom wasn't the same. It was not the same. You know what I mean? It was great to see everyone, but it's like going back to be reconnected. Oh my God, I felt like a little kid let out of a
candy store, yeah.
And I think it was for everyone too, to be honest. Yeah. I bumped into you, went, give me a tap. It was awesome. Yeah. And that's the thing with this industry that we work in. It's a big community, and that shows from COVID. I've learned that how much we all work together. I've got competition. I work with my competition. We've got to make things happen, Yeah. And I think for me, the goal is this year is to drive forward, keep driving forward, getting out there more. When you get busy, and that's why it's about being clever and having the right people with you as well. And that's what I feel I've got now. And it's given me that chance to get away, and be other places and focus on there as well. Even though I do work there, I want to go and share the love there as well, and be part of it, be part of the community rather than just being someone and coming and doing something, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And I think that is one, it's part of our industry is we're really people focused and really people orientated. But I think as a country, we're more in-person people.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
we really do thrive as a small country from being in each other's company and each other's presence.
Yeah,
Even if we are the introvert who needs their own time,
yeah,
there's still nothing like connecting with people in person.
totally. And that's it, you know, that was the thing I missed the most, you know, and being back in it and even catching up with clients, having meetings and stuff has been the best part. You know,
Yeah.
business is business, but people create the business, you know, and it's those relationships you have, you know, over years. I mean, when I was back at the showgrounds many years ago, you know, I worked with a lot of people when I was the marketing manager there, you know, and then I go out on my own years later, and those people are now my clients. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing work for them, and it's just been awesome. It's just it's been.
So now I'm interested to know. So you were marketing manager at the showgrounds.
ASB Showground.
How did you make the transition from employment over to business?
I think with the showgrounds, and look, this is funny. Probably people don't know the story. It was a bit of a fluke. I got the job. My mate was actually in recruitment. He's got his own company, and he knows me as a person. And he's going, mate, you need to go for this job. And I was in the motorcycle industry before this. I mean, I raced motorbikes. I was right into it. That was my life. That was my passion. And then, so what happened was he approached me and said, man, there's this job going at the showgrounds. You'd be perfect. Because I used to run the jet ski club, and I used to run the actual club, like sponsorship, everything. And I turned it from, you know, turning over good. I got the nationals running. And so he saw what I did with this event. So he said, man, this would be an opportunity for you to get into it. So I applied for it, and I was actually selling space at the Royal Easter Show. So 340 stands. So I went and did that, and 2.5 years later, I became their marketing manager. So I got to know the events side of it really well because I was involved in them, concerts, artists, all that. So what happened, I became an artist myself. I became a drummer, then a singer, and then I decided one day, I loved it so much, you know, I didn't want to go home. That's why I'm not married, because I just wanted to stay at concerts and everything like that. You know, it was just one of those things, and I was very passionate about it. And then when I left there after 10 years, I left the showgrounds, and I loved it there. And I owe Mark Franken and all those guys everything, because I wouldn't be where I am today without those guys trusting me. And then so I went to Mount Smart Stadium, went for the RFA as the marketing manager there, and that was great too. But then, you know, I've had this thing in my life is I just want to do things myself, you know, and you always follow a system. And what I chose to do was to go out on my own. And, you know, those two components, entertainment and AV, are two very key components to the venue and the food. Mm-hmm. If you don't get those right, things aren't right, you know what I mean? And so that, because it was my passion, I took the two. That was my business model, the only guy that's done it. I think people have tried it. I've been going for a while. I've got relationships, and it's just been awesome because as an event, you know, organizer, I'm the one-stop shop. My guys talk to each other. My artists talk to my techs. They talk to everyone, you know. So it just makes it simple. And then a client can just say to me, JR, I want this, our theme's this. I just put it together in a quote, send them through the ideas, a bit of a brief, and yes or no. So it's good fun. I'm getting paid for something that I love, you know. Can't beat that.
But, you know, but now you must have a warehouse full of equipment.
Yes. So we've got a warehouse in Auaha and Taupo as well. So, yeah, there's a lot of gear. You should come out and check it out one day.
I mean, that blew my mind.
It's one of those things. Look, technology is so funny. So you can spend lots of money, and then next time you'll find that, you know, and look, we've actually, we've just bought some gear from America and from the UK, just because of, you know, on auctions, obviously businesses that have fallen over and stuff. So we're out there, you know, you still got to reinvest in your business, and that's something we've done. And everyone's saying they're having shipping problems. Our big PA arrived on Monday. So, you know, it was 2 weeks later. It wasn't that bad. So that's how we're working at the moment. You've got to, so you ask what we're doing moving forward, that's what we're doing. We're still planning to go big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still investing in your business, getting new equipment in. Still, I mean, you've still got a decent sized team.
Yeah.
But it's good to see the country is still doing lots of, gigs, entertainment. New Year's Eve, you saw all of the things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's New Zealand. Like I remember, and when we come out of COVID, everyone was a bit unsure about numbers and stuff for events. And I'll give you a prime example. And the Rotorua Business Awards. I mean, I've done that 7 years, and when they first done it, Jackie and Jeff were involved. Obviously, they got me in there from Event Impressions. And I remember Jeff was saying, 400 packs, because normally it's around 600, 650. And I said to him, you reckon? He goes, yeah. And I just had a vibe because I'd done a couple of hybrid events, 100 people per gig. And I was thinking to myself, and they sold tickets every time. Well, guess what happened at the Rotorua Business Awards? They sold the most tickets ever, 760 tickets. And that was because people were hungry to get events, because you spend 3 months. It's not about the money. People just want to go. They want to get that connection again. And that's why I keep talking about the people, And it affected me. I used to sit there by my computer in COVID and sit there while the little boy waits. And no one emailed me. I'm sad. But it was just, yeah. And it showed, every time. I mean, you look at these events that are going on. Look how many concerts in there are. Yeah. It's just going crazy. And it's good for New Zealand too. It's good for the New Zealand artists.
It's good for the economy. Yeah,
I really do. I think it's, it's a lot of those guys. People have this perception you're an art, you play, sing. They don't get how much work these guys put into it, honestly. As an agent, I'm proud of a lot of these artists. They work bloody hard, man. Excuse my language, but they do. And it's not as easy as just turning up with a guitar and plugging in, these homework and, so when I was talking about COVID and how people got hit hard, they got hit hard because that's their living.
Yeah.
It's every day. Some don't have.
And so, did any of them move and take advantage of the online platforms while we were in COVID?
Yes. Probably the biggest was my partner. She's a Zumba teacher. Oh my God, she was doing like 12, 13 classes a week. It was a bit annoying because all he was doof, 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 doof all the time. It was a bit, got to me a bit. But a lot of them did, but it wasn't money-making ventures for them. It still wasn't putting money in their pocket. But you know what was great about that? They went on there and did it, just giving back to the people, giving people something to watch and to enjoy, But since COVID, a lot of these guys will be doing pretty well at the moment, and I hope so. They're everywhere at the moment, gigs galore. So, which is great, fantastic.
Yeah. So, what would you say one of your lessons has been from the 2020 experience?
Stay focused on the good things. Be positive, and just keep driving. Don't sit around. I've got to make moves. The 2021's got to work for me this year. So, and it's on a mission. And that's everyone on my staff. I've noticed every single person on staff is so motivated. And of course, it's because we're getting a lot of work. Of course, that's human nature. But it's not just that. Even when we're just slowly, even December, we stayed positive. It was our worst December ever, and that's life. But we made up for everything else we've picked up. And this year, obviously I picked up the activations for the America's Cup, which is going to be awesome. Look at this. Check out the shirt.
Nice.
I'm doing the activations there on the race night. So we've got bands playing down there and all sorts of stuff. So, there's so many happy things going on around us as well. America's Cup, even though the Americans crashed, but they'll come back. You watch. They'll fix that hole. So, So predictions for 2021, what will it be like this time next year? This time next year, hopefully COVID's gone, which it won't, but you know what I mean. I think for me, I'll have is to have a bigger stamp here in Rotorua and Taupo. The work that I'm putting in here to pay off. And to be honest, it's already paying off. I'm working with Tapuya and all those guys, and it's been quite humbling as well. Even though I have clients coming down here, I'm not the supplier here. I've actually made it a goal of mine to be part of Rotorua and Taupo, sorry, get question on that. So yeah, so that's one of my big goals. Auckland's great for us, and I'm not saying we're slacking off all, because that's not the case at all. I spent 7 weeks backwards and forwards coming back here and back to Auckland. So, before I came here. So, and I love it. Different scenery.
Yeah, well, different pace of life too.
Yeah, totally. And it is. No traffic. Oh my God. You can get on the golf course. It's amazing. They can get on the golf course.
Oh,
and to you guys out there know me that play golf, I got a 40 the other day, which was so impressive for me, because I'm a bad golfer, Sandra, really.
But the point of getting on the golf course is 1, exercise, 2, fresh air, and 3, relax. Just chill.
Yeah, absolutely right.
So whatever you hit or whatever your round is, it's like that.
Yeah,
that's a bonus, huh?
And last week was so hot here in Taupo. It's just crazy. And the funny thing, staying here, and I have to laugh, I've met so many people from the event industry that have come through and stayed. I'm out here in the pool. It's like, JR, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing here? It's just so funny. It's such a small world. Yeah. Small country. It's just like, it's just been crazy. It's been the best time,
Yeah, exactly. All right, before we wrap it up today, what would you say has been one of your aha moments that you've had since you began your business?
Probably starting my business. The reason I say it, people thought I was crazy. My wife at the time did. Hence why we're not together. But I don't. Oh, that's a tough one. I do have a real bad one, but I can't really say it online. It's probably, it's not bad. It's just naughty. I don't know. What have you heard?
I haven't heard anything about you.
Oh, come on, stop it, surely. I've got to tell you one. It's a little bit naughty, but it's not. Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, Marlborough meetings, we go away for a conference, so we go there, and you know what it's like, getting together with everyone, you have a few drinks and blah, blah, blah. And I was at the end of the night, and I ordered some food, which I always did because I never ate at the meetings dinner because you get excited and you party away. And I ordered my food, and I sat there, and I always fall asleep before the food comes. I go outside and it's always sitting on the floor. Anyway, I got my food this time, but I woke up, I remember, middle of the night, go, oh my God, what's that? It's really cold. And it was potato, gravy, and steak. I'd fallen asleep and it was still on the bed. I rolled on it. Is that an aha moment or was it a bad one? Sorry about that.
There was an aha moment as in, don't drink so much.
Yeah, correct. Yes. And there's a lot of guys that remember that event too. So there you go.
Oh my gosh, messy. You're one of the messy ones.
Yeah, that was a long time ago too. So.
Yeah. JR, thanks for joining me here today on Auaha Live and giving us a bit of a, backside or, backstage view into your business and what's going on and how you're doing now, how you did last year. It has been a blast, as I thought it would be. Like anytime you're around, the room is just full of joy. So I appreciate you being here and sharing with us. So all of the best for 2021, and we will chat again real soon.
Thanks, Sandra. Thank you for having me. Take care. All the best. See everyone.
Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us here today for our first episode for 2021. Once we're finished here, I would really appreciate if you could take a moment and share this with your networks. You never know who will get the inspiration and value of this conversation that I had with JR. If you'd like to be reminded about the next episode, you can either pop over here to our Facebook page, turn on your notifications, or you can put yourself on our email list. Head over to auaha.co.nz and hit subscribe to our newsletter. Please join me back here in a couple of weeks' time. We will have another guest and go behind the scenes in their business, looking at what the future brings as we move into 2021 inside the business events industry. There are good things coming, lots of events happening. I know that we are busy with client work this year, as I'm sure all of the business events industry are looking forward to getting back to business as usual. So until next time, 2 weeks' time, be safe, have fun, and I will talk to you all then. Mā te wā.